we look to people within our community, our business community, to step up. I recently was watching a webinar, that's what we watch all of the time now, on economic development, and someone speaking about another community. And the moment, this business leader, the moment that they became more engaged with their chamber. And the leader of the program, the leader of the chamber organization asked this business leader, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to step up and make change in the community? You, business leader, you are the one who is best positioned. Not so much the staff at the chamber or the other organizations, it's our businesses who lead. And when I think of our leadership class, that's exactly what I think of. People who have stepped up, are taking that first step to be leaders in their business community. They may already be leaders in their other paths of life, but now this is an opportunity to lead the business community in Greater New Haven. Especially thankful that they took this opportunity in a year of COVID. When we first started these leadership programs in 2020, we had no idea how many people were going to want to partake in something like this. But it seemed like people wanted an opportunity to connect. I know that's something we've all wanted over the last many months, and the leadership program provided that. So we've had a great, tremendous class. They've done great things for our nonprofits in the region, and I'm excited for you to hear from them and to celebrate them as we get going today. Before we get underway with graduation, I really do want to thank the Regional Water Authority. They're our presenting sponsor. I want to thank them for their longstanding support of the Chamber's Leadership Center. This is not a one-year thing for the Regional Water Authority. They've been doing this for many years. And not only do they sponsor it, but they also send employees through the program every year. So constantly developing leaders. Before we turn it over to Janine Reckenwald, Senior Vice President of Corporate Services, we have a brief video that we want to share with you from the Regional Water Authority.
Everything kind of makes New Haven pizza special. It's the ovens that we use, it's the quality ingredients that we use, it's the RWA water that we use. Modern's been here since 1934, so it's about 85 years right now. I've been here for 31 years. The thing I love most about running Modern is I love seeing all the happy faces. I like the people to get excited when they see the pizza and they're happy when they eat it. You know, it's a good job. We have customers that come here every Friday or every Saturday or for longer than I've been here. So I would call that loyalty. What separates the ordinary pizza from the extraordinary pizza is extraordinary ingredients. The basic ingredients in the dough: water, flour, salt, yeast, and olive oil. The RWA water is the most important ingredient in the dough. It is the foundation of the dough. It's also the most affordable ingredient in the pie. The RWA water cost me less than a penny a gallon, but it's pristine, it's reliable. The quality of it is the same all the time. Without good water, you would be making a bad pizza dough. It doesn't work.
Most people have no idea what it takes to get drinking water out in general.
The RWA's drinking water treatment process includes filtration and disinfection of our surface water supplies and groundwater sources.
Day-to-day operations, that's anywhere from lab tests, water analysis. We do chemical changes.
Our water meets or is better than all federal and state water quality standards.
When they turn the tap on or they open a fire hydrant to fight a fire, they expect water to come out.
You can always rely on the RWA to deliver water for life.
Well, we always talk about the pizza in New Haven. We don't talk about the water enough, and it is great water provided to us by RWA. And it's my pleasure now to introduce Janine Reckenwald, Senior Vice President of Corporate Services, and she is here to represent RWA. Janine?
Hello. How is everybody today? You guys hungry after seeing that?
Very hungry, Janine.
I know I am. So, good afternoon, leadership class of 2021. On behalf of the Greater New Haven Chamber and the Regional Water Authority, I am so delighted to join you virtually and to congratulate all of you on reaching this important milestone. I want to take a minute to thank your respective organizations, the Chamber, and all of the people who have supported you on this journey. In addition, I'd love to give a shout out to our own RWA team. Congrats to Bonnie, Hiddle, and Danny. Thanks for participating, and we hope you had a great time. During this time, you've had the unique opportunity to develop your leadership skills so you can continue to make a positive difference at work, in the community, and with your family. I'm sure I don't have to tell you all, more than ever, we need people like you. Like Garrett said, we need leaders to step up and leaders who can make a positive difference. And more than ever, I believe we need values-based leadership. I call it authentic leadership, having a strong grounding in morals, values, and your own purpose. As you graduate today, I challenge you to establish values-based leaderships in your jobs, as well as in your personal life. Good leaders have good values and they stick to them, living them not just some of the time, but all of the time. Clearly, this means walking the talk and doing the right thing, even when no one is looking. In my experience, the best companies and leaders operate with a consistent set of values that serve as their North Star. People love following leaders who are transparent about what's important to them. I urge you to get in touch with your own value system and develop your own values-based leadership to achieve your goals. Here are 4 suggestions for how you can do just that. First, you need to self-reflect. You must have the ability to identify and reflect on what you stand for, what your values are, and what really matters to you. After all, if you don't know yourself, how can you lead yourself? And if you can't lead yourself, you certainly cannot lead others. Second, I challenge you to be open-minded. See 360 degrees around you. In other words, have the ability to see situations from multiple perspectives and differing viewpoints. I'm sure you did a lot of that over the last few weeks. Open your mind to consider all sides and all opinions. Don't ever try to be the smartest person in the room. There's a lot out there to learn. Third, learn to love change. It's not enough to accept change. The rule of survival in business today is that you must lead change or you will be changed. Fourth, show humility. Never forget who you are or where you came from, and treat everyone with respect. Genuine humility keeps life in perspective, particularly as you experience more success in your career. These recommendations can be applied by anyone, whether you're the chief executive of a company or the junior most person in an organization. It's never too early or too late to become a values-based leader. In closing, this should be an exciting day for all of you. Through the leadership program, you have gained some great knowledge and experience to give you a better rounded, in-depth look at the challenges and opportunities facing our community and region. Now it's time for all of you to stand and deliver. Our community needs you to lead the way. I believe you will. You'll lead the way, the right way, for the greater good. Thank you for inviting me to join you today, and I wish you all much continued success.
Thank you, Janine, and
You're welcome.
thank you again to RWA. We truly do appreciate the support. It's my pleasure now to introduce the keynote speaker for this afternoon. Dr. William Terry Brown currently serves as Chief Executive Officer for Gateway Community College. The Chamber recently welcomed him back to this region last summer, and we look forward to continuing to work together on talent pipeline development initiatives that supply our emerging workforce needs. In addition to his many scholastic achievements, earning a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology from the University of Florida, a Master's of Arts, and a PhD in Clinical Psychology from the University of Delaware, Dr. Brown is regarded as an engaged community leader, deeply motivated to nurture, mentor, and develop students. Dr. Brown, it's been great having you here in the region. We've been able to work together coming up on a year now. So glad to have you as part of the program and really pleased to have you speaking with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Wonderful. Well, after Janine's comments, I might have the shortest keynote address. Everything that Janine said, thank you very much, congratulations, and good evening. But I guess I'll do a little bit more than that in honor of this class and your accomplishments. So to my colleagues and partners at the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce, to Tamika and the leaders and facilitators and supporters of this program, and especially to the class of 2021 for the Executive Orientation and Leadership Academy, I bring you greetings from Gateway Community College and congratulations to you on completing this year's Leadership Academy. I know that you were nominated and recruited for this program and that many of you consider this to be a privilege to have been selected for it. But I want to thank you all for your participation and for your service during the course of the program, especially because you did this in addition to your family life and your work responsibilities. I also want to convey our thanks to your families and your loved ones. I am reminded by my wife daily that we could not do what we do if it were not for their support and their sacrifice. So they definitely deserve our thanks as well. I learned a long time ago that if you are given a chance to speak, you better have something to say. So I hope that you will hear these remarks in the spirit of encouragement and appreciation for and to all of you. In preparing these remarks, I found this to be a welcome opportunity to reflect on my own leadership journey and some of the lessons I've learned along the way, and I will confess to be reminded of daily. Since I only have a little bit of time, let me share some perspectives on these 5 leadership lessons. The first is the primacy of purpose. The second is the importance of integrity. The third is the wisdom of with-itness. The fourth is the followership foundation. And the fifth is no success without succession. So, with regards to the primacy of purpose, our purpose is the why behind our work. Everything we do as leaders revolves around our sense of purpose. So the vision that you construct and communicate, the actions you take as a leader, the change you facilitate, the understandings you promote, the critique that you do of yourself, the reflection that you engage in, and I would encourage you the affirmation for your work and for your efforts. All of that is revolves around and centers on your sense of purpose. It is our purpose that gives us our authenticity. And trust me when I tell you, if you are not authentic as a person and in your leadership, people will catch on. And I have learned and observed that when you try to fake it as a leader, you will only make it so far. That brings me to the next leadership lesson, the importance of integrity. And a lot of times when people talk about integrity, they think of it in terms of honesty, but it is far more than that. Those of you, well, many of you are getting to know me, but people who know me know that I'm a big fan of etymology and the roots of words and what they mean. And when I look at the word integrity and the word integrate come from a common root. So my definition of integrity is talking the walk and walking the talk. Everything that you do as a leader, your talk and your walk should be aligned. So if you want for the organization to change, then you need to be willing to change. If you are interested in the development of the people and the places and the agencies and institutions that you lead, then you also have to develop. If you're interested in equity, then you have to practice equity. If you're interested in shared governance or democratic principles or being student or client centered, then you need to put those into practice so that your actions, your statements, and your beliefs are all integrated with each other. Now, I will warn you that integrity of necessity makes you vulnerable. You will make mistakes. You will not always live up to your ideals. You will do things that sometimes later on you look back and you're like, I really wish that I hadn't done that. But again, that goes back to purpose and authenticity. We are all human beings striving to do better and be better than we are right now. Integrity really is the best expression of leading by example. The third lesson that I'll share with you is the wisdom of withedness. So let me share with you some words that you will commonly see in today's leadership parlance. Words like commitment, collaboration, communication, coordination, cooperation, compromise, and community. I'm going to challenge you to pierce through the buzzwords and consider what these words really mean and what they have in common. So if you look at all of these words, look carefully at them. The roots of all of them, co and com, mean with. And so when I talk about the wisdom of withedness is that bringing people together to do things that you're interested in doing. Withedness, and if you think about all of those words where there's commitment and collaboration, and communication and community and compromise and coordination, cooperation, when those things are present in an organization, then that's a signal of the vitality and health of that organization. It's adaptiveness, an ability to get things done. So when you think about these words, when you use these words, when you live these words, I ask you to reconsider what they mean. And so commitment means that we are missioned together. Collaboration means that we labor together. Communication, interestingly enough, communication and community are very, very close together, but they means that we are in unity with each other. Coordination means that we set priorities with each other. Cooperation means that we operate with each other. And compromise, which is often a dirty word for so many people, literally means that we are making promises with each other. Also keep in mind that the difference between com and con, so think conflict, is a single letter. And the ability to generate withedness can turn on a single word or action. The followership foundation. It's been my observation that leadership is mythologized and followership is stigmatized. You know, people are lifted up and held to, great esteem for being leaders. No one ever wants to be told, oh, well, you're a follower. But I would argue where that leadership is overrated, quite frankly, and followership is underrated. The organization will only be as strong, will only be as effective as the effectiveness of every person in it. The leader may be responsible. In fact, we are responsible for delivering some aspect of the vision, but it is the followers in the institution, in the agency, that execute the vision and get the work done. An effective leader cultivates strong followership and cultivates strong followers. And this is when you'll know when you've done it, when you've got it. When leaders and followers can switch roles without missing a beat. So there will be times when your leaders will become the followers, and they need to. And there will be times when the followers become the leaders. And when they can switch back and forth and the institution, the agency continues on, then you know that you've done it. And then finally, the success in succession. I've seen situations where, quite frankly, leaders are afraid of the people that follow them. Sometimes these folks are smarter than them. Sometimes they're more talented. Sometimes they know how to do things that the leader can't do. And that becomes a source of fear and insecurity. Going back to what I said before, I feel in an ideal position when I've got supremely capable, talented, and accomplished people in my organization. And so my job is to help bring them even further and help to put them in positions that they can become leaders in our institutions and organizations. The effective and the responsible leader plans for the time when they are no longer the leader. If everything depends on you, you're not doing it right. If the work ends with you, you haven't done it right. And it is critical, it is imperative that we raise the next generation of leaders, even as we take our own steps in our leadership journeys. So when, as leaders in your institutions and your agencies are dealing with or have the ability to embrace professional development or mentoring or those efforts to develop the people and prime them for leadership roles, even in your daily work, delegating a task, delegating a responsibility so that other people can have the experience of leadership and accomplishment. All of these are critical parts of your leadership responsibility. There's a great deal more that I could share, but there's no way that tonight's celebration should be about what I have to say. So let me just leave you with this poem by Rudyard Kipling. Some of you may know it, entitled If, which has been one of my sources of leadership inspiration. If you can keep your head about you when all others are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, you'll be a leader, my son. Brothers, sisters, daughters, Kipling wrote for a time and an age. I hope that something I've said this afternoon has been of value to you. Thank you again for your work, your service, and your leadership. Congratulations on your graduation and Godspeed in your leadership journey.
Dr. Brown, thank you so much. Those are beautiful words, and thank you for your leadership. It's great having you and Gateway Community College as part of the Chamber of Commerce.
It truly is my honor and my privilege. Thank you for inviting me here this evening.
Thanks. All right, let me welcome in now Tamika Miller. Tamika is very well known to everyone who's in the leadership program, especially if you're one of the graduates out there. Tamika is our Vice President of Marketing and Program Development here at the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. And I really do have to give a big round of applause to Tamika, who got this program through. As I mentioned, we started it in a pandemic, and she found ways to bring people together in person, but also have our hybrid events. And from all accounts, it worked great. And she recruited many of you who ended up joining the program. So Tamika, welcome, and please give us more on our graduates.
Thank you, Garrett. I have to say, are you able to hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I have to say first, I'm so proud of all of you that are graduating this class. As Garrett said, I've come to work with you and know you, and so just so proud of the progress, and look forward to long-lasting relationships. I want to just quickly review for those of you who don't know the details about the leadership program in the next couple of slides. I'm going to do that really quickly. And then I've got a little treat just to kind of give you some information and some testimonials from some of our graduates. But first, for those of you who are not aware of Leadership Greater New Haven, this is a quick shot. It's really a comprehensive program that lasts over the course of 6 months. And it really works to introduce people to the New Haven region. They're new to their job, new to the region. And it really works to connect members of the class with each other, and then connect members of the class with key influencers and decision makers within the region. So hopefully, as you hear from the graduates later on, you'll feel that actually has happened. One other thing to point here on this slide is there are 5 leadership practices that we go over with all of the class participants within Leadership Greater New Haven. And they're able to take these 5 leadership practices which are on your screen and really apply them to real life project opportunities. And you're going to hear more about that in a moment. Going on to executive orientation, that's our second program within the Leadership Center of Greater New Haven. And this one is a condensed program, about 3 sessions long, 3 months. And this is for senior executives. And again, it works really to help build an orientation and broaden the awareness and knowledge of executives within the region. So again, if they're new to their roles, new to the region, this is a really good comprehensive program to get them in touch with each other, and then get them also in touch with influencers and key decision makers within the region. And on top of that, we have tasked the executive orientation class with a strategic challenge. And so you're going to be hearing in a few minutes one of the speakers talk to you about their solution with that strategic challenge. Then my last slide is just a quick overview to show you the dates. So we're already planning for the next 2021 to 2022 program year. And so these are the dates. So I urge you, if you have been in the class and you loved it, please tell someone. If you have not taken the class, you can feel free to reach out to me. I will share my information in the chat a little bit later on. It has been really a good program, but don't take my word for it. I'm going to share with you now just some quick, short testimonials from a few of our graduates. So just bear with me for 1 second, and I'm going to share my screen.
Every day, I employ the skills that I gained from my past leadership class that I attended at the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. I now look at new opportunities to embrace and give back to my community.
Hi, my name is Danny Piero, who graduated from Leadership Greater New Haven class of 2021. It was an awesome experience. My favorite part was being able to connect with strangers about real-life topics and come together as a community to help solve problems. I can now call these strangers great colleagues and friends.
Hi everyone, my name is Alfred Guante. I am a graduate of the Leadership Greater New Haven class of 2021. It has been an absolute pleasure to be a member of this graduating class. The participants in this particular cohort had nothing but open hearts, which led to open talks, which led to fruitful conversations about leadership and what it means to actually lead, what it means to sometimes have to follow, and changes that are needed in our world, in our society, locally, statewide, and across the globe. And those are conversations that I will take with me personally for the rest of my life. I look forward to staying in touch with all of these phenomenal individuals and even enjoy some great collaborations in the very near future. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gary Carleglio, Regional Director, Sales and Relationship Management for both the Quinnipiac and Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. I'm also a class participant in the 2021 Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce Leadership Program. I just would like to thank Shana Snyder, Tamika Miller, and Garrett Sheehan for putting on an outstanding program. The content, the speakers, the classmates have all been terrific. I recommend this for any business that has management potential to really get involved next year and enroll some students into the leadership program. You will not be disappointed. The best thing about the program, though, are the classmates that I worked with. You have all been great, terrific, enjoyed this experience very much. Look forward to celebrating with everybody at the graduation and also, when we can get together. So thanks to the classmates. Great job of putting on a terrific program. And we look forward to spreading the message to other businesses to join this wonderful experience. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Olivier Pognon, and I'm a part of the Leadership Greater New Haven class of 2021. Being a member of the LGNH has been fulfilling on many levels. I've made friends, I've developed and honed leadership skills, I've gained insights from world-class presenters, and I've worked on a real-life case study. This is a content-rich program that addresses current and relevant issues necessary to becoming an effective leader. It was extremely well organized and well executed. In addition to the leadership content, I discovered how great the city of New Haven and its current towns are. The best part for me for this program was working on a case study with a subgroup of my fellow attendees, trying to solve a challenge for a local community organization. We worked as a team, we learned from each other, and we presented our findings and results and recommendations. This has truly been an awesome experience, and one that I would highly recommend. It's these kind of experiences that you want to repeat over again so that you can learn, grow, and ultimately give. Thank you, Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce, for this fantastic initiative and for allowing me to be a part of it.
Okay, so those were just, again, a few testimonials that I wanted to share with you about our program. It now gives me pleasure to introduce Bonnie Moreland. And as Bonnie is preparing to come to you, I just want to let all of you know that the program for the graduation is actually in the chat. So if you go down to the chat, you should find a link to today's program in the chat. So it gives me very good pleasure to announce and introduce to some Bonnie Morehead. She's a senior business analyst for the Regional Water Authority. And she is going to come to you and speak for about a minute about some reflections that she and her cohort had for the Greater Leadership Greater New Haven class this year. So without further ado, Bonnie, please turn on your camera and your audio, and let's hear from you.
Okay, Tamika, thank you so very much. Can everybody see me? Okay. Good afternoon, Garrett, Tamika, Janine, Dr. Brown, Anne Marie, and the class of 2021. In the words of Charles Dickens, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, a time of duality, revolution, and resurrection. We entered this wonderful leadership program as independent strangers during the most chaotic time of our lives. Collectively, this cohort has chosen together to use chaos as a ladder to climb above the uncertainty, to look beyond our differences and towards inclusivity amongst a diversified landscape. We chose to build our house with the help of the 5 practices, and we created our own practice, the unique wall of us. our patchwork of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our house became a home for our cohort. And we learned that the struggle that we are in today is helping develop our strength for tomorrow. Each session was a building block to the next. It would be a disservice and a dishonor to each presenter to play favorites, as they were all providing the tools to help us navigate the chaos of the new leadership requirements in this near post-pandemic world. In closing, the class of 2021 has emerged from this unprecedented moment, a new breed and brand of leaders that are learning to wear and value the new lenses of diversity, equity, and inclusion. These are the skills that we acquired. In the words of Dr. Maya Angelou, still we rise, we rise, we rise. Congratulations, class of 2021. Thank you. Now I'll hand this back over to Tamika.
Yes, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Bonnie, for sharing those wonderful words and inspirational words. And thank you for your attention and dedication to the program. It's now time for our team presentations. So each of our teams, I mentioned earlier, as they were studying the 5 leadership practices, they had the opportunity to now apply these practices with these various companies. So we're going to hear from these companies in this order. We'll hear from first a presentation on literacy volunteers. Then we'll hear a presentation on ACES Access. That's a special program, new program. Then we'll hear from Farm Stores, a brand new enterprise. And then we'll end the team presentations with a presentation from ASCM New Haven chapter. So to start us with literacy volunteers, I introduce you now to Olivier Pognon. You can turn your camera on and your audio, and there you go.
Great, thank you, Tamika. And thank you, everyone. This has been such an amazing ride, an amazing opportunity. And I truly do mean I would do this again. I know I can't, but I will be your agent and ambassador throughout the community to pitch this amazing program. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen and get started. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. I'll turn my video off. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity of allowing us to present to you today. We are Team Literacy. Wanted to introduce the dream team that worked on this project and their respective organizations. First, we have Ben Amarone, the Director of Admissions at Abertus Magnus College. Next, we have Bonnie Moorhead, Senior Business Analyst at the Regional Water Authority. Then we have John Leibensberger, the Director of Operations at the New Haven Symphony Orchestra. And lastly, myself, Olivier Pognon, the founder and creative director of O&Co Media, a digital marketing firm. So now getting on to our organization. Literacy Volunteers. Literacy Volunteers was founded in 1976 and has served the community for 45 years. Basically has 3 major locations, 7 full-time staff, over 250 volunteers, and serving 800 plus adult students. The ask that they wanted from us was to improve the tutor experience. They have tutors as their main critical component. Without tutors, the organization cannot operate. So this is a completely volunteer-based business model, so to speak. So they wanted us first to baseline the satisfaction of the current tutors. They wanted us to research best practices for volunteer retention, or in our parlance, volunteer satisfaction. And ultimately, they wanted us to create a tutor satisfaction survey that we would send out to the tutors. We did the research to determine the best practices on how to baseline and analyze what motivates tutors, and we came up with 2 different indexes.
Won't go into too much detail on this because of time, but first we discovered through our research that the Volunteer Function Index is a standard instrument to assess volunteer motivation. Basically, it says you want to understand why people volunteer to begin with, and there's 6 components, which we'll go into a little bit later. Secondly, once people have volunteered, you want to understand how satisfied they are when they're volunteering. So again, this is also a benchmark industry standard way of assessing satisfaction. So we used both of these indexes and we incorporated them in the survey that we created. Just want to quickly go over the process. We did the research, which we just talked about. We came up with questions, survey questions specifically for each of those dimensions so that we could understand which dimension resonated most with the volunteers. We included literacy volunteer leadership, their board, their staff, and also their volunteers. Once we received blessings from the organization, we executed the survey campaign with incentives, prizes, and everything. And we then went ahead and analyzed what we came up with. And this is our results. In light of time, I'll focus on the dimensions that ranked low. For the motivation of joining literacy volunteers, the tutors said that career and social rank low. Career makes sense. Most of the volunteers are retirees, and career was not a motivating factor to join or to volunteer. Social also ranked low because for some reason, it wasn't a reason for them to want to volunteer. On the right-hand side, which is probably the most important column, we looked at how satisfied are these volunteers. What ranked low was the organizational support. Organizational support basically says that the training materials or that are relevant and well organized only had a 44% approval rating. However, there are 2 dimensions to organizational support. The other dimension is more emotional, and they felt that 84% felt appreciated by LV. Group integration, another dimension, which talks about how does the group in general feel, how do the tutors in general feel? 44% felt that there could be a better established peer-to-peer relationship. However, 75% of those volunteers said that between the tutors and the literacy volunteer staff, they felt that the staff, the relationship between both was high. Lastly, communication quality. This is basically saying how does the volunteer feel that the organization communicates with them. 27% felt that it was inadequate. 35% felt that it could be a little bit more consistent. We think that it's a fairly low number, but we wanted to bring this to literacy volunteers' attention. So we provided some recommendations. And I won't read all of them, but I will read maybe one out of each one. We thought that for the organizational support, we made a recommendation that perhaps some of the training materials, and this isn't something that they didn't already know, but we thought that perhaps some of the training materials that they use for helping the tutors to train or to teach literacy to the students could be either revamped or revisited. In terms of communication, we thought that perhaps an increased level of communication via email strategies, via perhaps even creating a monthly newsletter called the Tutors Corner could highlight each literacy volunteer of the month and be used as a tool to recognize tutors. For the group integration part, we thought we could recommend creating more of a peer-to-peer network by suggesting a Facebook group for volunteers only, so that volunteers could feel more cohesive and more integrated amongst themselves, and also perhaps create a buddy system for older volunteers or for more mature volunteers to mentor some of the younger volunteers, so that there's a network created and so that they feel that there's more of a peer-to-peer network. We also wanted to highlight, we had an open question for the in the survey to highlight what did the volunteers enjoy, and as you can see, the volunteers feel that literacy volunteer, the organization is a phenomenal organization. Some of the comments that were made, some of the names, some of the comments people used individual names. As you can see, I was impressed by the volunteers, because even during the pandemic, when I went to visit them, they were still trying to fulfill their mission with Zoom calls to the students. And I felt just the level of commitment from these volunteers was amazing. So I just wanted to highlight at least the positive points as well. And this was our recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, literacy volunteers. Congrats to that team. And now we are going to get ready to move into the next presentation. So while Nick and Letitia come ready to share your screen, we're going to hear about ACES Access. So Nick Onembo, if you'd like to share your screen, turn your cameras on. There we go. Thank you so much. And now we'll hear about ACES Access for just a few short minutes. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce the ACES Mobile Shoe Shine Business Plan team. The team consists of Jen Kostek from Sarah Inc., Danny Pichelle from the Regional Water Authority. My name is Nick Onembo from Yale University, and Letitia Prashad from Gateway Community College. The mission of ACES Access is to empower individuals with disabilities to become contributing members of their community. ACES Shines is a shoe shine business under the umbrella of ACES Access, driven and inspired by the late Andy Wolf, with the goal of empowering individuals with disabilities to become contributing members of their communities. When ACES Shines pitched their needs to our leadership class, their objectives were to develop a business plan, to identify business and community partnerships, to get recommendations on marketing and advertising, and to seek suggestions for a tangible mode of transportation for their mobile unit. The new mobile business model will enable ACES to develop a profitable business. The mobile unit will make ACES Shines more agile and give them the ability to expand their market by going directly to their customers, whether it is an individual or a business. The mobile business will also help to increase their connections and partnerships within the community and give them more visibility in the greater New Haven area. We projected historical ACES numbers into this new mobile business forecast that has a go-live date of July 1st, and we are projecting a modest profit in quarters 3 and 4. Thank you to New Haven's Pellegrino Law Firm for agreeing to pilot with us. Teammate Jen identified the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven as a potential source of grant funds to help the business. We identified the need for a marketing intern, and teammate Letitia is working with ACES Shines to hopefully develop a relationship between Gateway Community College and ACES Shines for this internship. We identified social media as a big opportunity to get the word out in the community about ACES Shines, and you will now see the video that we helped create.
Oops, sorry.
We're having some audio issues, not getting across the audio, but Nick, just tremendous job that you guys were able to do with ACES.
Can you not hear?
No, cannot hear that.
Okay, can you just try one more time?
Yep, give it one more shot.
Okay.
On those young men and women of all ages who have developmental or physical disabilities. The impact that ACES has made has been just remarkable, and it's something that I've been very proud to see. Today, I'm here to talk about something that I think is a remarkable, innovative approach, the ACES Access Program. And as I look at this program, I see very clearly the impact it has, not only on those who have those disabilities. Think about this. All of us, we need hope, we need purpose, and we need structure in our lives. And this ACES Access Program that brings a shoe shine program to the forefront, a mobile shoe shine program, where those involved who are 21 and over from the ACES, they are now young entrepreneurs. And think about the optics of a nice shoe shine. So this program is designed for a mobile shoe shine unit to come forward to various companies and various institutions, and we're going to be doing it here at North Haven's Town Hall, that not only provide a wonderful shoe shine, but equally important, and most importantly, provide that hope, that purpose, and that structure to make people feel good, both those who are receiving the shoe shine and those who are part of the program. And if you have any interest or you'd like to learn more about the program, or perhaps have the ACES Shine program come to you, please refer to the number at the bottom of the screen. It's a remarkable, remarkable endeavor. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
The notion of a van as an objective was challenging to us, but our teammate Danny has some amazing friends who donated a van to ACES Shines. You will soon see a van similar to one in this slide in action in Greater New Haven. We would like to thank North Haven First Selectman Mike Frieda for agreeing to be in the ACES Shines video. We would also like to thank the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce for leadership program for bringing all of us together, and ACES Access for giving us the opportunity to work on this project. Please feel free to call the number or visit the website at the bottom of the screen to donate to ACES Shines or to make an appointment for a shoe shine. Thank you all very much for your time.
Thank you, Team ACES. ACES Access. Thank you so much, team. And now we'll move quickly ahead to the next presentation. We have to present Azaria Samuels, and she will be presenting on EA Enterprise LLC Farm Stores. So Azaria, please take it away.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Let me get in here. All right, so we are the Farm Store Fresh 5. I am Azaria Samuels, the Audience Development and Corporate Partnership Coordinator at Longworth Theater. And on behalf of our team, Alfred Guante, he is the Director of Student Activities and Interim Director of Career and Services at Gateway Community College. Danny Piero, he is the Assistant Vice President and Branch Manager for People's United Bank in Milford, Connecticut. Leandra Stanley, she is the Behavior Support Professional at Meerkat Inc. And Gregory Milano, he is the Account manager at United Illuminate. We went ahead and picked the Enterprise LLC with Adrian Parkman and Alicia Spearman. Their challenge was to create a new concept, new enterprise to Connecticut called Farm Stores. They needed help with strategy and marketing and communication. And we're talking consumer, franchise owner, and zoning boards. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, what is a farm store? And let's see here. And a farm store is so unique. Let's see here. So a farm store is very unique. It's a combination of a grocery store and a restaurant. Farm stores gives you the freshest products in a cool and convenient way, sort of equivalent to a drive-through supermarket, but an express lane, the fastest lane. If you take a look here, you can see a graphic and see what the farm stores pretty much look like. It's a two-sided drive-up and full-service convenient grocery store founded in Miami, Florida. However, they are rapidly growing on the East Coast, and Adrian and Alicia is adding to that addition by bringing a farm store to Waterbury, Connecticut. Farm stores have a wide range of fresh items and products. They incorporate from local farms and have a lot of fresh items such as this list here. We know a lot of people in Connecticut love ice cream, freshly squeezed juice, and farm stores have some of the best. One of our tasks was to create a message that will be used to target customers and franchise owners, and hopefully will stick at zoning board meetings. We created the acronym FAST. As you see in this slide here above, and I'll give you a second to read it, we pretty much wanted to create a message for the audience that will really attract them in the best way. We felt that when marketing to customers, it was important to highlight the convenience of a farm store. Farm stores, believe it or not, really help you save a lot of time. And for example, if you think about yesterday, how it was raining, the weather wasn't the best. If you needed to pick up your child, or if you needed to pick up anything on the way home, it was just, you didn't want to get wet. And with a farm store, if you need to pick up groceries, grab any drinks on the way home, you can do that by driving up to a farm store and getting your items and making your way right back home. It's super fast and convenient. And we advise Adrian and Alicia to keep in mind that over 700 potential customers are under a 30-minute drive from Waterbury, and to consider some of the outlets such as these here to market to customers and ads, local newspapers, senior centers, and radio stations in the surrounding areas. Now, when it came to our messaging to investors, we asked the question, why franchise ownerships? And we came up with 3 key reasons: flexibility, structure, and opportunity, as you see here. People like choices, and farm stores allow investors to decide whether they want to buy a completed location or do they want to purchase their own land. The only difference between the two is really site approval. So investors really get to decide. Investors mainly want to know what they're getting and what is the value. And they're getting a new concept of watering, technology integrated into retail, such as Grubhub and Uber Eats. And with all of this, everyone gets speed and convenience. Something our group wanted to do for Alicia and Adrian was to provide a guide for franchise owning, for franchise owners. We're talking digging deeper into the zoning guidance, how and where to market. We provided them with heritage theme ideas and national dates to promote their products. You know, this area is known for their Latinx community. So we thought it was important to really dig into the products that really serve that community and those that are in the community. Overall, we wanted to create a message that can be used to market customers and franchise owners, and that Alicia and Adrian can use. So we thank you, Alicia and Adrian, for this opportunity, and the Chamber for allowing us to work on this amazing project. Thank you.
Thank you, Azaria. Very, very comprehensive. Thank you, thank you. And now we have our 4th presentation from Leadership Greater New Haven. And then right after that, we'll hear from the Executive Orientation team. So coming to us for ASCM, New Haven chapter, is Hital Shaw, Hiddle Shaw, be presenting right now. Hiddle?
Yes. Thank you, Tamika. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. Congratulations, class of 2021. And thank you, Shayna, Tamika, and Greater Chamber of New Haven for putting this wonderful program together. And I'm going to be presenting on our group's leadership challenge, ASCM New Haven chapter. The team that worked on this project is Gary from Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce, Doug from International Festival of Arts and Ideas, Shannon Mykins from International Festival of Arts and Ideas, and myself, Hetal, from Regional Water Authority. Just to give a brief introduction on what is ASCM and what was their challenge that our group worked on. ASCM is known as Association of Supply Chain Management. So basically it's an association and which consists of group of professionals who work in operations or supply chain management side of the industry. They have a membership base of the company. They have a company memberships and individual memberships. Their main purpose of this association, they do provide industry-leading certification and training in the area of supply chain management. The challenge and the project that we worked on is how to identify, reach out to, and how can the organization help sell more certification and education services to individuals. And also the tools or any other thing that they can use to help employees, the company's employee or individual, become more educated in supply chain management skills. We started with one of the basic things we learned in the leadership program is what is going well. So one thing that we identified by talking with ASCM group of people, their board members, is the entire team has a great passion about the industry and a knowledge about what the industry needs as a whole. Their product, which means the certification, membership, anything that they give to their membership base is high quality and effective. ASCM chapter has a great business to business relationship. ASCM New Haven is part of ASCM national chapter. So they do get some resource from and information from national chapter as well. And so far what they have done, they really have a good base, good things that they have accomplished so far. So they're not starting anything from scratch. Suggestions that we came up with, and on this slide we included everything that our group came up with. So the first and foremost thing that we suggested is having a budget or creating a budget that can be and should be used to specifically towards marketing and outreach. So the group knows that where they're investing their fund to. So it could be either like printing, mailing, social media, events. So having a set budget and determining like how many percentage of this budget go to which activity, that really helps with their marketing. The second and one of the most important thing that our group identified that would really help ASCM chapter is using a CRM tool. So CRM is basically a customer relationship management tool, and it helps them keep track of the customer data, any leads that they get. It will help them growing customer. It will also help them where to invest. And we did provided several suggestions to use this CRM tool. There are several free tools that are available in the industry, like Zoho and Salesforce. There are some low-cost ones too. So that's one of the things that ASCM is thinking of moving forward with. The third thing would set a sales goal, and I think it helps everybody, right? If you have a goal in mind, you know where what you're working towards. So it could be either like a number of certification sell or the membership growth. So having some set goals, so the group is working towards something. Number four, we the group did, our group, like we looked through their websites and a lot of, I mean, I think all of this recommendation that we came up with, they're already taken care of in their, on their social media stuff. So social media buttons, so have a button on their website for YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, any social media they're using. Have a dedicated page or a link for a contact us, so that will help them get the leads. Like a person can enter their information and you get their contact information. For membership, have like a call to action button, like a join now, so that, you know, person can get their membership or purchase their membership with like a couple of clicks. E-commerce, I think it's one of the things that helps everybody. And video testimonials. They do have some great video testimonials on their website and on YouTube as well. Another thing that ASCM already has been working towards is university partnership, or getting more university partnerships. So having like more students enroll in this certification. And one thing that our group suggested is using interns, and works both ways. Some college students, they need credits for graduation, for internship, and then they can in turn get some experience working with ASCM. Marketing opportunity and investment that we suggested, join Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce, and attending one of the upcoming manufacturing career fair that is coming up in July with Quinnipiac and Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce. E-newsletter, so that's ASCM has something going, they are already sending some, but that's e-newsletter is one of the things that they can keep sending to their membership group. And social media growth, and I think that's like the future, right? Or like the current trend. And there is a great tool that we showed ASCM on how to use, which is called Hootsuite tool, and that basically helps you post information on 3 social media sites at the same time. So that is something we went through. We went through the tool with them, and then showed them. So that's overall, I mean, all the suggestions that we provided. And in summary, ASCM, they have a great team. They have a great group of individuals. They know what they're doing. They have an ability to help so many more people. And with some planning, new resources, and some thoughtful investment, they will accomplish what they want to accomplish with their chapter. So that's all I have. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Hiddle. And now that we've heard from our Leadership Greater New Haven class, we'll now hear from our executive orientation. And just a quick reminder, these were senior executives. We had about 11 people that are graduating today. And I now welcome Anne Marie Knight. And Anne Marie Knight is the Executive Director of the Black Business Alliance. Anne Marie, I won't steal your thunder, but I know that your class was tasked with a really important strategic challenge question. And so I hand the floor over to you to give us your proposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tamika. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. And congratulations to all of the additional graduates. I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the EXO class of 2021, and thank our esteemed presenters and speakers from today and those who have helped us over this session. We had a very specific challenge. So I want you to just, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the members of our class. And you can see on the slide previously that we came from a wide range of nonprofit organizations and business organizations came together. So I wanted to just talk for a second about our actual challenge. The question was, how can the broader business community help increase traffic and improve patronage in the downtown and town centers in our region? This was a huge challenge, quite a challenge for us. But it centered around thinking about what was happening in New Haven with businesses around the pandemic. And we were fortunate enough to be able to hear from one business owner during our class who spoke very eloquently about the need to reduce her hours. She laid off many staff, and had to have greater expenses as she had to prepare for online retail sales. This was not the only story. I can tell you countless stories of businesses that have closed and are still closed today. We know that Black-owned business and brown-owned businesses were hit 2.5 times harder than their counterparts. So the Town Green District just recently did a very quick snapshot of businesses in the area. We know that there are 347 retail spaces in downtown, a current occupant vacancy rate of 20.7%. We also know that 10 businesses have closed within the last 5 months. But the good news is that 5 businesses have opened. I believe this is a sign of hope, even though we know that 16, those who are in bars and music venues, still remain closed. So our project centered around what could we do to make the town green the center of New Haven, create a vibrant downtown. So we took a look at the green, and we recognized and got feedback that it was mildly inviting, but lacking some aesthetic elements. There were some landscaping issues. There's plenty of open space, which is an opportunity, but there is always limited private and city funding for a revitalization effort, which we feel is essential if we're going to support the businesses in the area. So we decided to think about what would happen for next steps if we could reimagine the green. Thank you, Jen. It would include having the opportunity to bring together proprietors, city, and community stakeholders to really engage in thoughtful conversation that has vision forward conversation as part of what's happening. You would get the feedback, the insight about what people really want. What are their hopes and dreams in this downtown area? It would also be, the next step would be to connect with local landscaping companies to host an ideas challenge. What could they do to help to spruce up the green? And then there would be a concerted effort to solicit corporate and partnership support for this effort and create partnerships around philanthropy and opportunities. And of course, engaging local schools and students to be a part of volunteer-based stewardship. This actually would dovetail very nicely with the current Adopt a Business program that's happening through the chamber, and it could just become an extended portion of that. So as we reimagined the green, we thought about what it would take to have the green be a beautiful place to emphasize that New Haven is a wonderful place to live, work, play, eat, and shop. So here we're talking about having maybe some waterscapes, playscapes, significant areas for dining and socialization, bringing folks out to the green on a regular basis. And then the opportunity to have an interactive retail directory with wayfinding usage so that folks can find their way around. They can go to the kiosks and know where the businesses are in the area. They can use their cell phones to download the mobile apps and be able to visit nearby restaurants and shopping opportunities. I'd like to say thank you to Bob, who was a member of our class from Svigals and Partners, who provided 2 snapshots here that were preliminary ideas that were resulted from conversations with the mayor of the city of New Haven in the late 90s. And again, this was reimagining what the green would look like, and they thought about the green stage. And the next picture that you'll see is a rendering of that green stage. That's our project in a nutshell. And I wanted to end our presentation today in closing with just a few comments, some feedback from some members of our class. So Rebecca, who was new to New Haven and her work opportunities on the green, stated that this has been an opportunity, a wonderful introduction to the city, its history, and the organizations that make it what it is. And then we heard from Jen. She's an executive director in New Haven. She said, I feel better prepared to lead my organization and have new business partners to collaborate with as a result of this group project. And lastly, Erica, said that these strategies helped me to positively move my team through the college reopening process, as well as how to readjust our idea of normal in a post-COVID world. Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity again to congratulate the other members of the EXO team. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure. The other graduates today, and say thank you to Tamika and Garrett and the other speakers and presenters. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne Marie. And now I'm going to hand it back. That was a good, strong presentation. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to hand it back to Garrett Sheehan, our president. And this is a time you've all been waiting for. We're going to get ready to do our certificates. So, Garrett.
Great. Thank you, Tamika. And thank you to everyone. Those were tremendous presentations, a lot of hard work by all of the teams, also Anne Marie and everyone on the executive orientation. I love the way you attacked the opportunity and the problems that we're facing, because we all want to get people back to the downtowns, back to our central business districts across the city and across all of our communities. Also, I do want to make sure that I thank Shayna Schneider. I know Shayna was a huge part of the class there for all of the projects and working with everyone. And we love working with Shayna as well. So Shayna, a big thank you to everything that you do and your support with the chamber as well. But without further ado, excited to read off the names of our graduates of the program. So you'll see, we'll have our certificate up on the screen. You know, normally we'd be in person, we'd be handing this off, but a sign of the times, this is our second year actually now of doing a virtual graduation. So we're becoming pros at that. But I will begin reading off the names. And again, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for putting the time and commitment into the program. First up, Albertus Magnus College, Ben Amarone. Next, from Quinnipiac Chamber of Commerce and the Greater New Haven Chamber of Commerce, Gary Carleglio. From Gateway Community College, Alfred Guante. From Arts and Ideas, Doug Harry. From O&Co Media, Olivier Poyon. From Sarah Inc., Jen Kostick. From the New Haven Symphony Orchestra, John Leipensberger. Hope I got that right, John. And from United Illuminating, Greg Milano. From RWA, Bonnie Moorhead. From Arts and Ideas, Shannon Mikens. From Yale University, Nick Onumbo. From Gateway Community College, Letitia Pershad. From RWA, Dan Pichel. From People's United Bank, Danny Piro. From Longworth Theater, Azaria Samuels. From RWA, Hital Shah. And from Marrakesh, Leandra Stanley. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. That's our Leadership Greater New Haven 2020-2021 class. Congratulations. I know everyone at home right now is clapping as well. And now let me honor our executive orientation members that you just heard from with Anne Marie. We have Shelley Kayla from International Festival of Arts and Ideas, Aaron Thompson from the International Festival of Arts and Ideas, Bahati Kanza Monza from IRIS, Melissa Lang from the Agency on Aging of South Central Connecticut, Jennifer Fournay from Parents Foundation for Transitional Living, Mikhail Bird-Vaughn from LULAC Head Start. We have Bob Sholazra from Spiegels and Partners, and Anne-Marie Knight from Black Business Alliance, Pat Hall James from the HR Stores, Erica Lynch from Gateway Community College, here's the music, and Rebecca Minehan from Carmody Torrance, Sandeck, and Tennessee. Hope I got everyone's names correct, but again, another big round of applause for all of our executive orientation graduates. Thank you. All right, we'll bring down the graduation music, but this is the end of our program, and I just, before we close out, want to again thank the RWA, our sponsor for this program, Tamika, Shayna, so many other people behind the scenes who helped pull this together. Janine, Dr. Brown, thank you for speaking today. And especially all of our graduates for staying with the program, and your companies who decided to invest in you, decided to invest in our region by building your leadership skills so we can make a better Greater New Haven business community. Thank you again, everyone, and have a great evening. And we look forward to you being a part of our leadership class next year.